Vamos a aprender español. Let's learn Spanish. The vowels are a, e, o, u. And sometimes they will get stressed with a vertical accent mark, and that's just for stress. It doesn't change the pronunciation. There is the tilde, the little squiggly line above the N. That's an ñ. Now, there's not special characters, but there are doubled up letters, ch, ch. A double R, that's trilled, rrr, you'll practice, get it, and the double L, which is pronounced like a Y, or j in, say, Venezuela. Spanish has substantially the same grammar rules as the French. They only contract the masculine, they don't retain the definite article, they don't decline the prepositions as is done in Italian and Portuguese. One thing Spanish does do that's unique, they often drop the pronoun. I have is just tengo. If you say yo tengo, then you're doing it for stress. I have. Notice as we move to the Spanish grid that the parentheses, brackets around the pronouns is a reminder that the pronoun is optional, used only mostly for stress. And they are yo, tú, él, ella, ellos, ellas in the first person. Plurals, nosotros, vosotros, usted, also used for the formal, and ustedes. As is the case in Romance languages, Spanish has adjectives after the noun. Nouns usually being recognized with masculine ending in O or MA, an exception to the A endings for other feminine words. Also feminine words end in DAD or CION. Some major exceptions. La mano, the hand, el día, the day, in contrast to el dio, the god, or los dios, gods as a concept. Los cielos is heaven as opposed to el cielo, the sky. The plural just adds an S. Some of you may have noticed that abbreviations for plurals double the letters. So, for example, Estados Unidos is EEUU. The adjectives which follow the noun will take an O in the masculine, an A in the feminine, just adds an S. Little trick here is just make everything rhyme, with that exception of the MA words and the ones we just did with el día bonito, la mano negra. Oh, by the way, watch that rule about making things rhymes. Do not apply that to the verbs. The direct and indirect pronouns are the same in the first and second person. They do differ a bit in the third person. Well, let's make this clear. You give it to me, you give it to us, I give it to you. Well, that's me is me, to us is nos, te, and os. Now for the third person, give it to him as lo, la, los, las. But if it's indirect, then it's le, les. Well, it's time for the verbs. I've given the example for ER verbs, and then there's also endings in IR and AR. And as a rule, except for the first person, we're going to keep those vowels in there anyhow. So I speak is hablo, we speak is hablamos, you singular speak hablas, you all speak, and I know you well, hableas. He speaks, él habla. If you wanted to make clear, it's not her. And they speak, hablan. Well, it's time for the prepositions of, at, with, in, on, above, for, and we generally leave those alone except in the third person singular for masculine. Del becomes del. Oh, and watch it. If you're giving a direction, por becomes para. Following the prepositions, the pronouns get changed. Me becomes me, and te, you becomes ti, and lo, the guys becomes le, as is for the females, and the plurals go from los, las to les. Think of it as mine, yours, theirs, his, hers. Let's try one. I have it for you. Tengo lo para ti. O tengo lo para usted. Formal. Hey, that's not hard. Ay, no es difícil. By the way, for those of you doing your Spanish in Spain, yes, they have gallego, that's between Portuguese and Spanish in the Northwest Galicia, and you have Catalan in Catalonia. In fact, here's a little example of what you might want to face if you got there. I'm not going to walk it through for you. So, buenos dias y buena suerte.